Welcome everyone to another episode of Reality Rangers, where we will be talking about weeks 5, 6, and a little bit of 7 of Big Brother 28. You know I had to. I'm
You
Malik
didn't
Fufte,
have
one of
to.
your Reality Rangers,
I'm
and I'm here with my disappointed co-host.
I'm Andrew Hill. Very disappointed. It's getting old, Malik.
Yeah, it is getting old. It is getting old. But yeah, what if you could describe the last few weeks since we last recorded in Big Brother in 3 words, what would those words be?
Um, yeah, I 3 words. Big Brother must see TV.
Oh, I didn't know that's 3 words. I
Yeah.
would say Chuck Ball's discourse. That would be
Yes.
my 3 words. All right, so let's start with the back half of week 5. I think we ended off with the noms being Chuck, Haley, and Barrett, right?
Uh, yeah. I think we recorded on Sunday, so the episode hadn't happened yet, but we knew who the veto, we knew who won the veto. We just didn't know.
We're gonna use it. Okay, so as we suspected, Kamu won the veto and didn't use it, and so the noms stayed the same: Chuck, Haley, Barrett. And who won the blockbuster? Actually, I didn't even say their name out of those 3. Their real name was not mentioned.
Yeah. Codename Haley, real name Thog, won the
Real name
BB
Todd.
blockbuster, the Carnival Ball knockout. It's very tongue in cheek with
Yeah,
this week's discourse, but it's a very for as blockbusters go, it's an iconic one so far. Roll the ball up.
yeah.
You roll the balls up the hill, and then once you have all them up there, you just have to knock them back down.
Yeah, it was used with, I'm pretty sure, one of the most iconic blockbuster. I mean, when it was called an AI Arena, it
Mhm.
was the one that Mackenzie just narrowly beat Rubina
Yeah.
in when it was, I think, Cedric went home. And then they didn't use that as a blockbuster last season, but it
I thought they
was,
did.
I'm pretty sure, it was like a veto or a HOH
Right.
comp during the double
Yeah.
eviction. Morgan won, and apparently Ashley threw it. And you look back on the tapes, and she really was throwing it. But
You can
no, it was really fun to watch.
Yeah, you can kind of tell that the blockbusters are they're just kind of using comps that they had as a back catalog for when they're doing
Mhm.
the double eviction. Like they just need those
Yeah.
fast challenges that are like really simple.
Exactly. Like, we
Um
can't take too much time on this. Like, we're not going to commercial break.
mhm.
Like, let's
But
just get it done
it's
with.
yeah, it's fun. I like the challenges that we're seeing. This week unfortunately was not Paw Patrol, but we did see Thog win, and I think a lot of the back and forth during the week was, are they going to evict Haley or Thog? Are they going to evict Thog or Chuck? Because Barrett wasn't going. Barrett was safe.
Yeah, Barrett was
Um,
staying. So really, it was like if Barrett finally won something, then that would have been an interesting outcome.
yeah,
Who's going? I think it was leaning towards Thog though, so she
yeah.
really saved herself.
It was leaning towards Thog. I think in the final few hours, it was more leaning towards Chuck. But again, it wasn't assured, and that was on the pretense that Barrett wins, which love Barrett.
That
I
should
would
never be
love
the
to see him play
pretense.
Big Brother one day.
Yeah, that would be that's really nice. Like he said like a few weeks ago, like, I don't think I could ever do this again. Do what again? You never started. Like, this is, you have to play once to be a returnee.
hmm
So yeah, clearly Chuck is going home. We
Yeah.
can chuck him out of the house and it'll smell a whole lot better for it.
His stench is left
Yeah.
on the Chuck chair.
the Chuck chair. Oh, I love that term. I'm adding that to my lexicon. So what happens after that? We got an HOH knockout comp. This is usually a time we have a knockout comp with Yash winning.
I don't even after the week ended, I still don't know how I feel about this. Cause thank God it wasn't someone in the tool shed or red corner.
Yeah, the
I-
crossover, right
crossovers.
corner. Yeah,
It's really nice to see that we're getting consistent, shaking up each week with the HOH to the point where even if one of them wins the next week, it's yeah, we're having that back and forth. And again, we talked about this last week. The game is so dynamic at this point. There's no set sides anymore, which makes it a lot more interesting.
Mhm.
But yeah, Yash is I think I said if he won HOH, it would be the funniest outcome, and I think I stand by that.
Yes, Lala did just win the week before, But she didn't do nothing with her HOH.
Mhm.
She put up Red Corner, and Red Corner at that time started to lose steam as the most powerful alliance. They started to get disbanded. There was cracks. I wanted to see icons up,
Yeah.
and Lala didn't give me that. She only talked about it after her noms were set in stone. We're like, maybe like we should go for icons. Like maybe do that yourself. Maybe like when you
Oh.
have HOH, that's the time to put them up. But
Interesting theory.
yeah, it ends up being like the same kind of people that always end up at the end of comps. You have like Yash, Barrett, Mallory, and no shade to Mallory. She actually can win comps, but when it comes down to Barrett and Yash, you know who's gonna win. And you know who's not gonna win. Like,
Yeah. We have a track record of everyone winning a competition at some point, other than Mr. Mustache.
and like technically Melody hasn't really won a comp, but at least she did find the little like tube capsule thing on premiere night that let her play for safety. Barrett couldn't even do that. So my expectations are so low with him, and he never exceeds them.
Yeah, I've been keeping track of like all the comp wins so far, and like it has been so even though the fact that like for the first few weeks only Red Corner was winning HOHs, competition generally was pretty evenly spread out. In fairness, that also counts the blockbuster, which the Red Corner couldn't play in, but like
Yeah.
even through that, everyone was like a new person. Like Rome, Chuck, Jason, D, Mallory, Yash, Devons, Kamu, Lyric, Haley, Taylor, Drew, Lala. They had all won a comp by the time that like we had seen what was it? By the time of the end of her HOH, we had seen all of them win a competition. And then we'll get to it later. Angela gets to win something finally. It is literally just Barrett, Ashley, and Melody. And Ashley's was
And
evicted week
who
1.
and somehow I have more faith in Ashley winning a comp than those two.
Well, because she never
Like,
played in a competition. Like, she never even
that's true,
touched a.
Steve. She never got to prove herself.
Yeah,
Like,
I think she could have been a comp beast personally.
except for
She didn't have.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, but I mean, Yash, Chipotle is his life. He was fueled on Chipotle. You can't stop a beast.
He was feeling himself. Like,
Yeah.
you can't stop him. Like, yeah, speaking of the Chipotle King, he gets up in his HOH room. He's feeling good. He's talking about his initial noms with Kamo. Andrew. Less of a but still. And he's planning on nominating icons. He wants to put up D, he wants to put up Angela, and he wants to put up Devin. Oh, he doesn't want to put up Devins. Okay. So he just wants to put up D and Angela. Interesting.
Right.
And then he wants to put up one of either Barrett or Haley. I guess like as a pawn for Barrett, and then Haley is like a kind of house target, so like he wouldn't mind if she went him. But I'm confused. Why is he not putting Devins up?
Well, I think unfortunately, I don't know, his biggest factor in his HOH this week, like the biggest shift for him is he wants a woman to go home, and I guess he also
Yes, I
lumps
think,
Barrett in there, but
yeah, he's one of the girls. He's one of the girls. But no, I think this made the episode. He did say something along the lines of, there's 5 guys left and 7 women. I was like, okay, that's not that big of a disparity, but sure, whatever.
there's 5 guys and I'm more of a Chipotle person. Sorry, I keep making that stupid fucking joke, but he keeps talking about Chipotle.
Chipotle is life. Chipotle is life.
Yeah.
But with women like Haley, I don't think the women are a united front, so I don't think he has to worry that much. But yeah.
Yash is such a conflicting figure because it always feels like he's both like comedic relief and also kind of like leaning into villain, but then he does some bullshit or like says something so stupid that I'm like, he's just Yash.
He's just Yash. Like, you can't take him seriously.
Yeah. This week is like very confusing for me. Like, I'm glad he's putting up icons. I think he started the week in a very good direction. But then he started, like, the more he talked, it was like you could have just put them up and not said anything. Like, he was mentioning
Yeah.
about how D is like a non-factor, or like, how she's dead in the water, and Taylor had to remind him, like, she won Survivor. Let's not underestimate her.
I feel like this is the same stuff they were all saying week 1 when she was HOH. It's just
Yeah.
like, you underestimated her already.
Yeah.
But I'm speaking of unserious, we do get the time capsule, and Melody wins the vote. Okay. I didn't see this happening. I didn't see her winning it before Drew.
I think she's really like grown to be a fan favorite, especially like shockingly in like the Facebook like casual space, mainly because of her confessionals. Like, her confessionals have been so fun, and she's so
Love.
scathing towards the people that everyone hates, like Haley. Like, she's such a bitch. Like, we haven't seen that
Like
since the likes of Brittany Haynes. Like,
Brittany, she's the Gen Z Brittany Haynes.
mhm,
Can I say that? Like, I think that's safe to say.
yeah.
I think she's just very raw, and people appreciate that.
She's not the queen of FAP. We have the pipe queen, but she is the people's princess of FAP.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
People do love Mallory, though. I mean, she won before her, so.
Yeah, Mallory was the first non-icon to win, and she got a punishment. Hopefully that changes for Melody. Oh, no, it didn't. She got the Lady of the Latrine. Lady of the Latrine, this is such a humiliating punishment.
Yeah, that one is not fun. I think it's really funny that they ended it so much sooner than the other punishments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, people need to go to the washroom. Like, it's kind of holding up stuff. Like, if you're having game talk, somebody's gonna have to come up to you and be like, "Hey, I gotta go."
And what happens
So
if she's not there when they go to the bathroom? Like, does she get like a penalty?
the whole
vote?
house gets punishment slob. Yeah,
Yeah,
the whole house actually.
except Drew.
But yeah, so Dee doesn't like Yash being HOH because she feels rightfully that she's probably going up. So she gets her power ready, and she's like, she goes up to Yash and she's like, "Let me make you an offer you can't refuse." And she's like, "Okay, I'll give you 5K if you keep me and Angela safe. I think for the whole week," she said.
Yeah.
And he rejected that. Good
Yeah.
Yash.
Good game.
Next, she counter offer. She says, "Keep me safe this week. Just me, no Angela." She's boiling down like Rome. She's boiling down.
Boiling down the
And
list.
that also gets rejected. And so now Dee's scared. She's like, "If you can't keep me safe for 5K, that just means you're not keeping me safe, right? Like, there's no amount of money that's gonna keep me off the block." And so she's distressed. And she's like, "Devin's like, please, like, maybe use this diamond power veto on me." And they're like, "Okay, maybe we should chill, wait for the veto to happen, and then reconsider."
Yeah.
And so the noms end up being Haley, Angela, and Dee. No Barrett this time. Barrett is saved. He's not going to be on the block 2 weeks in a row. But I feel bad for Haley Thog. I feel bad.
Yeah. Haley Thog, she's just had so many hard weeks. Yash, I'm glad he didn't take the bribes. Like, makes total sense.
Yeah.
Stick to your guns. I do, like, people have been talking about this. The BB bribe, it seemed like you could only use, like, attempt to bribe someone once. And then it's
But it
gone.
never said that. That's the thing. I don't know where people got that from.
It's just said, like, I think it's the letter said that you can, like, offer one person a bribe or something like that, where it's like,
it's probably
can,
like
if
you
they
can only
deny,
use it once. You
yeah.
can't. Yeah.
It's like you can only use it once, but a lot, like,
Successfully.
everyone is misconstruing it as like you can only offer something once, but she's like using it so like constantly now, where it's like,
can you go get that cookie? Like, can you go get the cookie from me on the top shelf? I'll BB bribe you to do it. Like,
and Barrett's like, "I don't need the money. I'll do it for you.
I'd do it for you. Like, I'd pay you. I'd pay you. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh. But no.
But yeah,
so
she's handing it out like candy. At this point though, she's like, they're talking about it. She's like, "Will you use the diamond power of veto on me?" And when he's like, "I don't know. I kind of want to keep it for myself just in case." She's like, "What if I bribe you to use it, and we use up both powers?" And it's like, okay.
And it's like, I for one like for a split second I thought she did do that, and I was like, because I was like kind of like disconnected with the feeds for a moment. So I'm like, why would you do that? That's horrible. Like he's your friend. You know he's gonna use it. Thankfully, she didn't actually do that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see later on, one of the powers did get used.
Yeah.
But no. It's D at the nomination ceremony is like pretending to be shocked and gag, like, oh, I'm up there, I didn't know. What? Actually I did know. And, Thog's used to it. She's had a rough 6 weeks, like we said. And Angela, we've just activated Angela. Like, Angela, this is her first time on the block this season, and she's pissed. And so now it's the time for her to win that veto. Get that OTEV redemption from
Yeah.
her horrible performance on BB26. Not that she was the only one, but yeah. Oof.
But I mean, anyone who comes back into the game, I feel like every competition that you're doing for a second time feels like redemption.
Yeah.
It's just there's an innate sense of like you gotta work for it.
And
you
I
gotta
mean,
want it.
she got eliminated in the first round of OTEV last season, so there's only like you can only go up from there, right? It was like just OTEV is OTEV is OTEV. Like the themes are kind of fun to see. Like I like the set design and all of it. Like it's fun. They do their big one with OTEV.
Yeah, they have like their few big competitions they go every year. I think OTEV is always the one that's like the big as like a set spectacle. But I just like watching it. Not a fan of like how they always do like the OTEV is veto backwards. It's kind of like musical chairs.
Which it's not like musical chair. I still don't get why they say that.
Cause there's like one less spot every time, so there's one chair someone can't fit in. But like, you're not running around.
None of the other game mechanics.
Like,
yeah.
The BB blob would be OTEV the BB blob goo would be very sad to hear you say that. Just real quick, who's your favorite OTEV?
I haven't seen that many, but was there not one that was like a volcano and they had to like, or it was like some god in a volcano and they had to like worship?
I believe
I think it was like an old season.
Yeah, it was
like
the
BB...
first one. It was the voodoo doll OTEV, which was All Stars.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. That's a fun one.
That was before the sets got like big and they had the like waterfall.
It was just like a small little, yeah.
I think I do fuck with the OTEV Zingbot collab. I thought that was entertaining.
Was that 25?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That was good. That's a way to
weird
shoehorn both of your like big things in one spot.
It was multiverse, they're mashing them up together.
Exactly.
The only time that they ever cared about the multiverse twist that season.
Literally.
Other than the Nether region.
Or the zombies twist. You're bringing back, people. But
thousandth episode is coming up. I'm afraid of zombie twist coming back.
Well, they said it's something that's never happened before. What do you think that could mean?
I have a feeling
quadruple eviction.
Not the quadruple eviction. No.
Oh, and Drew just goes home 4 times. That's what I'd like to see. So for OTEV, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you're rooting for, Angela goes out first. Again, she doesn't get a redemption. And in the middle, it's Melody, Dee, and Haley. They go out, I can't remember which order, and it leaves us with Barrett and Yash. Same as the HOH comp. And are we surprised? Barrett doesn't win. Barrett, he was using good strategies, but Yash just outplayed him. Yash was holding on to multiple cards. He was playing sneaky, but I don't blame him. That's how you play Big Brother.
It should be like against the rules to do that, but like it wasn't established, so he was very like
exactly.
That's gonna be on Big Brother hacks like 8.0 or whatever.
Animal, yeah.
Barrett he's always a bridesmaid, never a bride, but I think he's half the time just too afraid to be the bride. In this case, I don't know
I think this one he tried his best. Exactly. This one he tried his best, but the other comps I definitely think he had a chance to win, and he's just not going 100%. Maybe because he wants to play that middle position. Maybe. I want to see him win something though. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I want to see like on Big Brother 17 when Steve accidentally won the HOH and had to like get his hands
Yeah.
dirty, and I feel like that's what made me endeared to Steve so much, beyond him just kind of being like boring game bot, like, winner vibes. I feel like that week was very fun to watch because he just didn't know what to do. Well, he did, but he
Yeah.
didn't know, like, he was worried that it was gonna fuck everything up, so he was kind of panicking. I want to see I want to see Barrett squirm. Like,
And
give
I
him
want
some
to
pushback.
see Barry in HOH before Drew. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
It would. It would.
If he
Not that
wins an
Drew does like
HOH,
the
it's gonna
best
be
and most
some like it's
situations.
gonna be
Yeah.
the double eviction of anything.
Yeah, that reminds me. Like, it's always somebody who doesn't win HOH is winning in the double eviction. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
like I remember in BB Can 9, I think like Braden won an HOH, and he's like, oh, okay.
And Angela should have won the HOH in 26, but
Oh, that's a whole different
sore
story. That would have
spot.
been like that would have changed the season forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so Yashwin's POV, he has full control, HOH and POV, and he has an important decision to make. He can maybe backdoor somebody. He could put Devons up, really, if he wants
Yeah.
to complete the trifecta. Um, or he could, take Haley off, put Barrett up because he's
Mm-hmm.
close with D. That's a vote for him. That's a vote for her to stay. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff he can do.
Yeah, I think they're like really there's a lot going on where it seems like it's always going to be he's not going to use it, but then every so often they're like, but what if we did this, and then it gets interesting and they're like, no, but I don't think we're use the veto. But it's like, I think their first thought was, what was it, take Haley off and then put up, was it Barrett or was it
I think it
um
was Barrett because I think at,
yeah.
at a certain point it was kind of working. I think Yash, Kamu, and Devins had a little bit of a thing going
Mm-hmm.
on. So yeah, I think, from the conversations Devins was having with Yash and Kamu, he was starting to realize that D could be in major trouble come
Mm-hmm.
eviction night if she was still sitting on that block. So I think that's what prompted him to use the Diamond Power of Veto. That's what the
Yeah.
plan was going into the nom ceremony or the renom ceremony.
There was also something really interesting, where obviously we did mention Barrett would be put up in place of Haley, which I think would have made the most sense if they were going to do a replacement nom. But then they started like leaning towards taking off Angela and putting up Barrett. And
Which
that
what?
if that had happened would have been ended up being like like one of the greatest moves for Devons to then take off D and put up, we'll get to it, but like if they had convinced him to take off Angela and put up Barrett, holy shit, they almost managed to like convince him of that. Unfortunately they didn't,
And
but
they
it's
would have
still,
had no icons on the block.
it would have been insane. Unfortunately, that's not how that played out, but it's okay because it was still very interesting. Devons
Yeah.
decides to. Well, okay, Yash doesn't use the power of veto. Devons
Okay. Yeah.
decides he's gonna play the POV, and Diamond POV.
Diamond POV.
Diamond, and he takes off D, and he puts up Kamu.
Kamu Kirk.
Kamu Cook.
Counting or not counting Renom.
Counting or not
Yeah.
counting Blockbuster.
He counting or not counting time capsule wins. Yeah.
This was like still crazy. Like, I think unfortunately this whole time we had been like saying like Kamu's unfortunately playing very well. He pivoted very efficiently out of the red corner and was able to kind of like fluidly work through the house to like make everyone trust him aside from like Melody and Mallory. But even like when we got to this week, he started like leading them over, and we'll get to there because that's like right before the eviction. But like he starts pulling them into his corner too. Like he's doing really good work. And I was so worried that he was going to go far or win or whatever because he was like actually like unfortunately a really good strategic player. But the vets luckily kind of just saw right through it. They saw he was like leaning a lot more towards Yash and Taylor than he was them. And thank God. What do you think?
Yeah, and I mean it helped that the vets had access to, Diamond Power Veto
Right.
and,
And the bribe, and
and
they.
people who are fans of them on their side. Like,
But if we are
it,
gonna
it
rig it,
helped.
at least we're rigging in a way that's fun.
Yeah, it's fun and is at the detriment of Kamu Kirk. So
Right.
I'm allowing that. That's being allowed.
Yeah.
And so I was gonna say it's almost like reheating the nachos of the nominations for last week. Had Yash used the veto on Angela and put Barrett up, it would have been Barrett, Thog, and Kamu after it being
Mm-hmm.
Barrett, Thog, and Chuck. And one thing about Barrett and Thog, they don't go home. And
Yeah.
this time, we saw it didn't get used on Angela. And I was a little scared because I thought Angela was going to be sitting on that block come eviction night. And, Kami could have done some Hail Mary, like, try to get all the newbies to, like, vote Angela out and be like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'll help you take a shot at the icons. Like, I'll be your shield. But no, that didn't happen because Angela won Blockbuster.
Yes. Oh my God, that was an exhilarating blockbuster to watch. I
That was.
I don't think it can get on the level of Riley's eviction last season because that was just miracle after miracle. But this is like a similar feeling that I'm experiencing tonight. Well, 2 nights ago. Oh my
Like
God.
Angela, for all the crazy stuff she does, she knows how to lock in
Mm-hmm.
and get rid of, a man like Matt Hardman level, Avengers level threat. Like
Yeah.
Kamu almost won that blockbuster, but I guess Angela used the tips that Tucker taught her. That's a
Mm-hmm.
tongue twister. And won the, like, in the mall when it has like the tornado simulator, it's
Yeah, like at
literally
Chuck E.
that.
Cheese
It's
with the
literally that.
the tickets.
Yeah, with the
I
tickets, and she put all the balls in.
mm-hmm. It
Shout out
was
Chuck.
it was really it was really incredible to watch, and before we do go into it, because like I think from there it's a little obvious, but there is a bit more that happens. We had been talking a lot about how FAP is like such a fun alliance. They seem the most secure. Earlier in the week, we saw like the FAP alliance and the vets come together. What was to create the mosh pit?
A mosh pit? Yeah.
Um, and then very briefly after, both the mosh pit disbanded and kind of FAP as well. Because I think I'm not like entirely certain on how it all played out, but I think it was that because Drew and Barrett were back in the corner of the vets like almost entirely, um, Melody and Mallory were like worried that they're gonna work against them and this is like not in their best interest. I think they had good reasoning um, to assume this, so like everything just kind of falls apart. Obviously, the four of them are still like good friends, like the Gen Z alliance, whatever. But I think from
Uh-huh.
a strategic point, everything just kind of this just keeps happening in these last few weeks. Like an alliance is kind of formed and then everything just disintegrates. We thought going into Yash's HOH that it was going to end up being like another side situation where it was like the religious people versus the non-religious people, and like it just didn't happen. Like the game is too fluid at this point.
No, yeah, I think there was some cracks starting to form in FAP, and
Not calling it FAP
it
anymore.
was. It just sounds it's gross, but no, I think Drew. I will give him his flowers for this. He did a good job of, I guess you could say it was being like the Icon's lapdog this week,
Mm-hmm.
but that's Barrett's job. No, Drew did a good job of securing Melody and Mallory's votes for Kamu because it was not necessarily in their best interest, but it was definitely a good opportunity for them to flip on Mosh Pit had it been like, especially like Angela versus Kamu,
Right.
and like vote Angela out and go with the Yash, Taylor, Lala, Kamu kind of group. But they didn't. They stayed loyal. They voted out Kamu over Haley, and I think is that the right move for them? We will see. They we'll talk about this HOH. They don't seem like they want to be big offensive players. I think they want to fade into the background.
Yeah. I think there is a world where keeping Kamu would be better for their games, but there's no world where keeping Kamu is better for TV. Um,
Yeah.
Even if Haley is like kind of a non-factor at this point, like she's very much faded into the background compared, like she's kind of outside of any power structure. Like there's nothing that really keeps her in. She's just kind of like there's a bunch of fluid alliances that are like warring against each other, and then Haley's just like over there. This is kind of
Over
how I
there
felt like
having her rough
Taylor in
weeks.
the like first week or two. Like Taylor kind of was just there. She was like kind of in that
Hmm.
power structure, but like not really. And people were kind of
Yeah.
forgetting about her. But now this is Haley's role.
It's Haley's time to play the wallpaper. Not furniture, wallpaper.
Coaster.
Um the poster, yeah. But I think this is a net positive, Kamu going home.
Mm-hmm.
Um we don't
Especially on
need him in the
Yash's
house anymore.
HOH. Oh,
That's crazy. That's like very satisfying to see.
yeah.
Like
What a
Manosphere no more.
what a wonderful week to see play out. Um and you know, I think depending on how the week ends, or this current week ends, I'll have an opinion, but right now I'm not sure how I feel about this new HOH. I think we should get
Yeah.
into it.
So
Spoiler
the
warning.
HOH, yeah, it's not happened on the episode as of our time recording this, but it has happened on the feeds,
Yeah.
and we now know that D is the new HOH.
Mm-hmm. First duplicate HOH this season.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
is
First HOH and the most recent HOH.
mm-hmm.
So
This is such an
I mean, she's always in
interesting.
that room though.
Yeah. She's always in the room where it happened. Like it's D. You can't like unfortunately, well, maybe not unfortunately. I truly cannot like get an opinion here. Um D is always going to be a good player even if she has a bad week. She's always going to be a good player. This is very interesting in a way that like I'm just so conflicted on because we haven't seen someone from like that like area win in a few weeks, you know. It's nice to switch it
Mm-mm.
up a bit, especially because there's so many people going after the vets, which I don't even know. Like, I don't. Everyone's like has an opinion one way or another, but I just don't know if I want the vets to go. Like, they're bringing most of the TV, the chaos, but like I do want some like, you know, I want to keep the pace going consistently, and so I don't know, maybe a vet needs to go next week or something. Like I feel like one, and then we leave it for a little bit and come back to it. I don't know. What do you
That's the
think?
thing with mixed seasons. It's like you either want like especially when it's a little number. If it's like half and half, I'm fine like where it's like okay, some vets go, some newbies go and it's like kind of like a back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's alliances of intermingling, that's fun. When there's so few, they're incentivized to stick together and get their little newbies that are loyal to them. And they kind of almost start doing like fear mongering, like you better not turn against the icons.
Yeah,
Like we
the
have
fans aren't gonna like
power,
you.
the fans are gonna like you. So it's like we saw the same thing with like BB Can 12. Like nobody wanted to take the shot at Spicy and Anthony. Like
Mm-hmm.
they were untouchable. The only reason Spicy went home was because of Anthony. And I'm sure if Spicy won that HOH or the next one, she would have taken the shot at Anthony too. Like I
Yeah.
don't know if she was genuine when she had that crash out saying we were going to final two. Like I'm sure she would have taken the shot at him had
Yeah.
she gotten the chance. So but you know, had the newbies taken the shot, ooh, bad move. We're coming for you. Like we would get that veto. We're
Mm-hmm.
coming for you. Like anyone who said their names at the start of BB Can season 12, gone out the door.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm criticizing Barrett and Drew and all them, but if I'm in their position, I'm writing that. Gonna be Barrett. Like this is the thing. You know, it's ironic. We're, you know, BB podcasters and we're getting on Barrett for well, not us, but particularly, but a lot of the people who took, you know, comment on Big Brother, they're like, he's a Big Brother podcaster and super fan. How could he be throwing his game away like that? you know damn well if you're in that house and you have the shot to be in a power structure like that, you will do the same thing. And I would do it too for a check. Like,
Yeah,
I'm fine getting advancing in the game.
it's funny to make fun of Barrett just because it's like a silly, like he's not done much, and he's like, I think Barrett's just a comedic figure in that sense, but I agree to an extent that like if you are in that position where you have like to kind of work with the like vets, it's hard to not do it, especially because you're so like he has, even though he's touched the block, which everyone has touched the block except for Devon's now. Um,
Yeah,
he is like so he's probably the safest person in the house. I feel like at this point because
safe, so safe.
it's like obviously pawns can go home, whatever. It could flip on him at some point, but I don't think it's going to, at least for a little bit. Um,
I don't
and
see a majority number of any of them voting Barrett out over any other person.
yeah,
Like, who is he going home against?
the only thing that I can really criticize Barrett for is the fact that he's actively not going for specific competition wins because he doesn't want to get in the mix. But I think he could stay in the exact same position he's in while still getting his hands dirty. Like he's in such a prime position to play the game. And my own like biggest criticism is just that he's not taking advantage of it solely because like he's worried, which I understand. I would be worried too, but you have to play at some point or else you're not going to have anything to say for yourself. And I think at least with Drew has done a lot socially and like, he's gotten out of situations that he might not even known he was in, but he still did that. Like he's been the target and then he was able to convince people he shouldn't be the target. Whereas Barrett has just kind of sat around. Drew's at least and like doing something with it. Even if he's still sticking with that, I think Drew's doing a lot better to, maintain that kind of spot in the house.
But in the words of D and Devon's Survivor 50 castmate Emily Flippin, let me push back on that. Let me just say, I think Barrett is better positioned than Drew. Like,
Oh, yeah.
let's just say the mosh pit sticks together by the grace of BB gods, and they write it out to final. What is it? There's 7 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say they write it out to final 7. Drew is target number 1 if the icons get in power. D whatever is target number 1, and Devon's if the Mallory Melody get in power.
Mm-hmm.
Barrett is sitting in the perfect position. He just has to make a choice of where he wants to go, or maybe he wants to win finally, and then he can take a shot. And I think that's his time to start building the win equity. He
Yeah.
gets safely to the late game, and then he starts making his moves then. And I think he's well liked by most people. I don't think he's made any enemies. He could win a jury vote against anyone but like Devon's, D, and Drew. And I think Drew would be out by then, and I think they'd be dumb not to take a shot at Devon's. I think the only person he'd lose to in a final 2, because realistically he'd get there, is with D. I think that'd be hilarious if he tries to get to the final 2 with D and loses to her, because we never see that. We always see, oh, the woman gets strung along by the guy she likes and loses to him. This would be funny. 2026, the guy who's simping for the girl loses to her in the final 2.
I mean, it happened on 45 as well, Survivor.
Exactly, that's her specialty, right? That's literally her specialty.
You were just reheating those nachos. That was a pretty decent season. I think this Big Brother season has felt better than that. Yeah, I did really like that season. Anyway, yeah, I think Barrett has all of the tools he needs, and the thing that's like good about it is like we don't see on the feeds much of it. But then in the episodes, confessionals can be edited anyway. But like we do actively see him talking about like all of his options. Like he talks about in the confessionals that they actually give him. He talks about how he's like keeping watch of the vets and the tool shed and whatever. Like he's waiting for the right time to jump ship. It's just we can't keep holding on to a what if. I need to see him actually do something for me to like say
actively better his game.
Yeah. I need to see him actually like go out, talk to people, strategize in a way that will like kind of rally he's not going to be targeted, but rally people in a way where he can get the targets of the people he wants without the power. If you're not going to get power through competitions, you should be using your conversations to direct the power elsewhere. And that's what I think the
Yeah.
biggest issue is with him, because it's all just what ifs. It's like I keep seeing people joking, like, counting on Barrett and Drew is like, what if the stripper likes me? Like we.
Exactly. It's not gonna happen. It's not
we
really gonna happen, but maybe
I
there's a chance.
Yeah, there's always a world. I mean, like we said, there's Steve Moses, I think, is probably the best comparison I can give for Barrett, where like he didn't do very much until like later in like into the jury, but he was always thinking about it. It's just we don't get any of that like talk, or like we don't get to see where his head's at about that kind of thing, because it's always like he sticks as the lapdog for the veterans and hangs out with Drew, and that's about it.
And eat hot chip and lie. Like that's
And
all
eat
Barrett does.
and eat Devin's hot dog and lie.
Literally, literally. So D's HOH, like we're only 2 days into it, but
Mm-hmm.
we do have some significant happenings. We have
Yeah.
now D flipping roles with Yash, and in the power position, she tries to bribe him one last time, just for good times, just to reheat her own nachos.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, okay, well, now I'm in the power position. Do you want to take this offer? I will give you 5K if you don't put any of the icons up the next time you're HOH. And, this isn't part of the written deal. Like, this isn't part of the official deal, but hey, if you take my offer, you're going to stay off the block, probably. And he's like, well, shit. I'm at your mercy right now, so I might as well take it
Yeah.
as like a sign of like goodwill. And so the BB bribe has been used. All of the powers have been used. All two of the good ones that are out so far. And Yash is staying off the block, so that leaves a hole because we know Taylor and Lala are going up. That's like a foregone conclusion
Mm-hmm.
with D. One, because Taylor and D like just have this unspoken like beef, and they're targeting each other in the game. And Lala, I just don't think ever got along with D. D never got along with Lala. So there's one last spot open. You could say, hey, Haley's a perpetual pawn now. We could put her up, but who is D thinking of putting up truly?
Yeah. This is I guess we're just going back like 2 or 3 weeks. They're back on their paranoia, and they're just like, well, Drew is gonna flip on us any day now. Like he hasn't yet, but he will soon. Like he's just and they talk. D talks to Yash, and Yash is throwing him under the bus. And there's like a whole thing. I like the joke that like Yash and Drew keep destiny swapping back and like each week. Um, but yeah, it's like a whole thing. And then they bring Drew into the HOH room. They confront him. They kind of ambush him, and they bring Yash in to like have both sides back and forth. But because Drew's been ambushed, like he didn't know this was happening. He just can't like he can't keep up. He's kind of stumbling over his words, and this really solidifies in the vet's minds like we need to put Drew up. He's gonna snake on us.
Yeah, it was like I was watching it like as the live feeds were happening. I was watching the little like chat they have, and somebody said like Yash is a better liar than Drew is a truth teller. Like it was really like Drew was not putting on a good performance, even though he wasn't even lying. It was, and somebody compared this also to BB Can 12. Me trying to relate it to BB Can, whatever way possible. Somebody tweeted it was like the meeting where Kayla got jumped. Like this person is being truthful, helping out the alliance, and they don't want to blow up the alliance, so they can't like give a full explanation as to why they're doing what they did. But you just want to target them because you don't like how well positioned they are, and you're just like putting them in their place. And that's what they're doing to Drew. They're like, he's really good, well positioned. We need to, put him in his place for a second
Mm-hmm.
time and put his game on blast because we can't have him, building up too much power. He can't be the power player that he's striving to be.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that this means though it could be a wake up call for Drew, cuz it like realistically last time we thought it might be the same thing, but they blindsided him. Like they convinced him that it was all the red corners doing, like, they
Hmm.
were going to blindside him before they decided that he's actually like useful. In this case, they fully ambushed him, like they fully targeted him. He knows he's the target, and like a lot of shit went down. So like this could be really a like turning point for Drew, and even Barrett maybe. Barrett is confusing, like we just talked about him in length, but like I don't know, I can never tell if he sticks with Drew or the vets more. Like I feel like it's he just, if the vets are like we're getting out Drew, he's like I guess that's how it is. But he seems to
No,
be so
he's
much
so
closer.
disloyal to Drew.
It's
Yeah.
so weird. Like he seems to be always hanging out with Drew, and then they're like, I think we need to target Drew, and he's like, you know what? I
That's
guess
like
I can't do
if
anything about it. I'm Barrett.
that's like if we were in like the BB can house together and I was like, I think we should get out Drew. like I would just be saying this, like why would I say that when you're literally the person I would hang out the most? Like why would you target your best friend in the house? That's one, an
Yeah.
ally, and two, I wouldn't want to get my friend out, period. I would want to spend more time in the house with people I don't like fuck with. Like
Yeah.
why would you do that? Like
Yeah. But
it's confusing.
this was in like so interesting. I mean, there's a little bit more that happens. What was the other thing that happened prior to the nominations? Um, I'm forgetting. I don't have
Oh,
my
the never
notes.
not pass.
Yes. Um, so yeah, as we mentioned before, Drew gets the final power this season, and it is the never not
It's
pass.
not
You
the
know,
HOH
yeah,
coin. It's not the
he could have
HOH
gotten the
coin of
HOH
destiny.
takeover. He could have gotten the what else was there? I'm already forgetting.
The mystery competitor
Yeah,
and the
that one
BB
is
replay.
okay. BB replay, which one is that? I don't even remember.
You get to play HOH twice in a row. He doesn't win
Right,
any of
okay.
them, so he
So
doesn't
like
worry.
one of them was incredibly powerful. The other two are kind of just okay. But like, well, no, one of the, okay, it was like great, bad, worse. That was
Yeah,
like,
there was. Yeah,
um, and I guess there were two bad, one more. Anyway, um, yeah, and this is weird because like you would think it's awful for him, but it kind of does help him in a way because like he's so open about getting the never not pass to everyone, where it's like, because he like in the Big Brother rule book they can't lie about like what production gives them. So like I think it just reassures to the rest of them that he's like trying to be helpful in a way. You know, we keep doing this back and forth. Drew eventually, like, he still gets put up. The nominations are Taylor, Lala, and Drew. Um, but going into it, we thought there was going to be like, you know, Drew so upset, like, you know, there's going to be hell to pay, and instead the feeds come back on, and Drew's like hugging the vets. He's like so happy they're all in the HOH room celebrating. Sorry, what
like
happened?
oh, I see conversations of we really value Drew. Like we shouldn't put him out of the house. We need to keep him. Like he's really so valuable to us. Where what's this 180 like over the course of 2 hours? Like what did we
Yeah.
miss? That's why I'm really excited for Sunday's episode. Like what did we miss?
I am so interested. Like people have been saying like this is, you know, Drew's funeral. He's been like he's been looking more and more like Dan over the course of this season. Um which is like it's freaky, but you know, it feels very similar to how that played out, but you know, we don't know exactly how it played out at the ceremony, but supposedly he um you know, did something, probably gave like a speech or like called out some people in a way that like would kind of convince everyone else that he's not a threat, like they need to work with him. A la Dan's funeral, where he was able to use that to convince Frank that the Quack Pack was dead to him and he needed to work with Dan instead. That's
Yeah, it was probably he was just like going really hard on Lala and Taylor. That's probably
mm-hmm.
what it was he did. And I mean, kind of kicking a dog while it's already down. Like I feel like Lala, Taylor, and Yash kind of are like already the
Yeah.
house pariahs. They're already in just a bad position and they're kind of resigned to one of them going home unless Yash wins the veto.
But if Drew was
But yeah,
supposedly the target and he was able to flip that around, then I guess it's worth it. Like, it sucks, but he seemed like he was the target just based on how aggressive D was going after him, and then things just suddenly
yeah.
changed. Um, I saw like another conversation a few hours ago where like, uh, I think it was Drew and D talking one on one in the HOH room, and she was just asking him like, I think they were going over what they went through with Yash in that argument, but like more like, let's just talk, let's figure this out kind of vibe. It was D asking, um, why didn't you tell me Yash wanted to put me and Angela up? And then Drew was like, because last time I tipped you off that someone wanted to nominate you, you ratted me out to the HOH and put me on the block. So like,
Oh.
that's the first time Drew is like, maybe Drew's becoming conscious now. Like he's actually saying his mind, like speaking his mind. And D was fully
Mhm.
receptive to it. Like this was a productive conversation that I saw. But that line was like, is he thinking?
He
Like,
gagged her.
oh my god. Like he's
Yeah,
actually
so I
doing it.
think I think he is getting a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Like his position could be good if he gets out of this week, and the icons still trust him somewhat. It's just
I
hard.
think
I don't know what's gonna happen this week. I have no clue.
I think one icon needs to go next week for it to like
Yeah,
really be good for him. If it could be like a double eviction where like Devins goes home or something, I think that would be maybe not Devins, maybe D would be better for him. Actually, no, I don't know. If one of the two of them went in like a double eviction this week or something like that, I think that's like best case scenario for Drew. That sets him up
for
really
sure,
well
for
for them
sure.
to like need to work with him because they're losing people while still having everyone else in the house.
Totally, totally. Let's take a look at our drafts because we
Yeah, yeah.
basically caught up to where we are in real time. Let's start with your draft. What do you think of each player? Give them a longevity score.
Yeah, let me. Okay, so on my draft, um, obviously I lost Chuck. Not a big loss here. Um, Devon's only person to not be nominated this season. He's definitely safe this week, especially now that the powers are out of play. Um,
Hmm.
I think I'm worried about him if anyone other than the icons wins. Like I think Taylor, Mallory, Haley, Drew, and maybe not Drew, but like not Drew or Barrett, but like Melody and Mallory, I think all of those people would nominate him. And I think he could be the target, especially now that he doesn't have
Yeah,
his power. But for now, he's
right,
solid. He's not going home this week.
for sure.
Mallory is worrying. I think she's in a pretty damn good position, but I'm worried that like as a result, she would be the target going into like next week if one of the vets won. Um,
Maybe, yeah.
because I think she's just really like she's very sociable now. Like her whole like front facing is how like social she is, and everyone loves her. But I'd be worried that like if Devon's won or something, and he'd get in his head and be like, Mallory, she's just too big of a threat. We have to get her out before
Right.
jury or
She'd win a
whatever.
jury vote, yeah.
Yeah. Um, Taylor, I'm worried about this week. I think she could very well go. Um,
I see her going home this week.
yeah.
I see her going home. Unless Yash wins veto and pulls her off, I think she's going home.
I mean, she could also just win veto.
She could
Uh,
win veto and then Yash would go home, I
mm-hmm.
guess, but I don't
But
know.
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's gonna be hide and go veto, and I think they're gonna like gang up on her. Can you gang up in hide and go
not
veto?
really, because you don't know who's that you're like you don't know which one's which
Hiding
that you're
your
looking
chip.
for. Yeah, it doesn't say your name on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
That's true. I hope Lala like leaves. If Lala gets Taylor, she leaves it right on the kitchen counter. Is that something you
yeah.
can do?
I mean,
Yeah,
theoretically, yeah, if you wanted to throw it. Um,
that would be
okay,
fun.
and then Drew, like we were talking about, Drew is so interesting. I think he supposedly did something incredible yesterday. We'll have to see how I feel about it when we actually watch it play out. Um,
Hmm.
but that's good, even though he has become like a consistent target. I mean, he's doing he's doing something right. Um,
Yeah.
and then Haley Thog Martin. Thog is she's gonna like get final five because they just kind of forgot about her.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we got all our targets out. We forgot to get rid of Haley. We
Yeah.
forgot to turn the lights off before we left home. We forgot to turn the oven off.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna turn up the heat on y'all, and she's gonna win her comps because she's a comp queen. Right.
Yeah. Right. Um.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think realistically, like it's hard to say anyone on this season is safe. Aside from Barrett, I think is the most safe, but he's also
Yeah.
like I don't know. I'm worried about all of the people on my draft to an extent, but I think you also have reason to be worried about everyone on your draft. So let's get into that.
Okay, moving on to mine. I think I do have some reason to be worried. We are tied up now, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
just gonna say this right now. I'm not usually cocky like this. I think I have the winner on my draft. Like I think I will be
Yash.
winning the draft again. Yeah, my last pick, obviously, because Jonathan almost won last season, so Yash
Mm-hmm.
gotta win this time. No. I think D is the most likely out of the icons to win because I think Devins poses a bigger threat to most people. I think Lala, she's gonna make it further out of all of the minority because people don't see her as a comp threat, even though she won the wall. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
better remember that. Barrett, like I just gave my whole dissertation. I don't have to say much about that. Melody, I think Melody, she might benefit from Drew going home even. She might. Because people will see her as like really, I think people will target Mallory over Melody too. Because like we said,
Yeah.
Melody doesn't win comps. Mallory does.
I
I
think
think
this is
Melody is in a good spot.
unfortunately I don't think Drew going would do much for her cuz like if we I mean like if we go back to like Corey in America, I mean Corey went home and then America went home like the week after in a double eviction. Like it really I think it is a
But
similar
that's because they were so
situation.
locked in like this. Like they were
Yeah,
actually a couple. This is like they have their, on and off again in the game. And,
but
like
I
it's just
I think it's better to have that number because she isn't like as connected with a lot of the other people and so I'd be worried about her like obviously she has connections to people who have better like Mallory and Drew and Barrett. They all have like good connections around the house. I think she's like the lowest, even though I think she's probably the most like confident. I'm like the most confident in her doing well consistently. Um, I'm
mhm.
just also worried that she is just like if Drew goes, then she won't have much in the house and could be like either a pawn or an easy boot.
Yeah, I think out
I
of
just
these people, it's her or Latrice, which is for me least likely out of my team to win.
mm-hmm.
I would maybe give the edge to her just because historically people don't respect older house guests. Like if it was a Melody Lala final two, I think people would somehow they would vote for Melody
Yeah.
just because like they people don't respect older house
I
guests
mean,
as much. And
Melody
then
hasn't done much wrong. Like she's done good in the house. It's
no,
just
no, she
she
doesn't have any enemies
yeah,
except for Thog.
it's just difficult to say that she would do well um outside of like Fap or Drew or whatever cuz like it's not like she has no strategic game, it's just she doesn't like I don't know if people would be willing to work with her if she doesn't have those connections.
Yeah. I would say one thing about her though is she's more cutthroat than
Oh, for sure. If
Mallory
she wins
Barrett.
HOH, that's
So
going to be like hell on earth for some people.
I really want, and I'm not just saying this because she's on my draft. I want to see a Melody. That would be more fun even than a Barrett. Like Barrett is like okay, it'd
Barrett
be
would be
fun for
funny
like an
like
hour, and then
it'd be like clumsy funny where she would be like mentally fun like physicality versus smart humor.
just like with Barrett, it would be like funny for the first hour. Like oh my god, like can't believe Barrett won HOH, and
And
then
then
he
he
would do
would
the
just
safest
target
thing
Melody
possible.
and Mallory and and Yosh and whatever.
Yeah, so. it would be not as fun. Melody, I want to see. And then when we get to the Chipotle King, Yash, let's have a counter for every time we say Chipotle King. Actually, let's not, because I don't want to edit that. And so he's off the block right now. If the
Right
noms stay the
now.
same, he's going. If the noms stay the same, he could win HOH next week. He couldn't put the icons up, but then I think that he only has to do that for one HOH, right? He just has to not put them up for one HOH, and then after that, he's
Yeah.
fulfilled his end of the deal. So he just needs to, yeah, like maybe if it's a double eviction next round, yeah, do a little like put up FAP and then move on.
And I also like I keep seeing people talking about like a world where it's final 5 and Yash can't not put them up. Like we I don't know. I think it's more likely that Yash is going to win, probably try and take out a FAP member, but I kind of hope, like, I think it would be funny if he just never wins and D's thing was for nothing, and
just wasted $5,000 bribe. Yeah.
well, like, I don't know if he would. No, because he never got the chance to, so he technically fulfilled the deed, I guess.
Yeah, he gets 5K as long as he doesn't put them up on his next HOH. So
Yeah.
that could mean anything. That could mean anything. And I
Which could
think
mean anything.
he is one of the comp beasts now. He cemented himself as one of the comp beasts remaining, so he could win out. If anyone could win out, I think, Yash could have his Jag-esque game.
He could.
I could see it. But he doesn't have a mat. He doesn't have a mat, though. Or a Bowie Jane, a fucking Bowie Jane. He doesn't have his
Bowie Jane.
Mafia.
He
like
yeah, I mean, there's always a world where his Matt and Bowie Jane are Taylor and Lala, but
Taylor and Lala, yeah,
which would be considerably better.
Because they can win comps. They can win comps.
Can.
Both of them have won a comp, so
and I think
it could work.
I wouldn't even say like I think the comps have been equitable, and people like the comps have been so evenly dispersed. Even though Yash won both HOH and veto, like I wouldn't count anyone out except for like until I see something happen. Melody and probably Barrett. Barrett just keeps getting second place, so like I don't know how to feel about
yeah.
him. He's gotten second place like
too hard
4
to judge
times,
for him.
but also he's played in every competition, so like
yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, that's about it for this episode.
Yeah.
It's tentative. We don't know what's gonna happen with the veto. I think the picks are probably gonna be out by the time we finish recording this. Unlucky us, but yeah, it's interesting. I want to see who wins that veto. If Yash wins, that'll be the most interesting outcome, I think. If Yash get picks and wins,
yeah,
that would be, very interesting to see.
I think I am rooting for a Drew. I don't know, cause like I'll be unapologetically a Drew fan. I do think he's very entertaining, and I know he gets a lot of shade, but he's kind of hilarious sometimes, and I like watching him play. I just hope it results in like a good outcome for the season where he does something at some point where looking back it'll be like, yeah, he did that, so it like kind of retroactively fixes the rest of it. But yeah, I want Drew to stay. I'm glad he was able to like wrap it around, but I don't want to see a scenario where it's like that means nothing and then he goes home anyway.
So we'll see, and I think that's all for today's episode. So yeah, we thank you for listening and letting us give you a lay of the reality land. Any last words, Andrew?
You know what? No, I don't.
I have 3 final words. Do you know what they are?
Chipotle is life.
No, Chuck Ball discourse.
I was gonna say Chuck Ball discourse.
All right, thank you for watching, everyone.
Bye.